Okay, so that went live really quickly. So hello everyone, welcome to Slam Jam. We are now live, so get ready for discussions of all things WWE and beyond. But first things first, as always, let's hit that intro.
We're locked in the cage, it's the Slam Jam Show. With Dynamite, you better feel alive. We're better than you, and you know it. Yeah. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see us, Chico, you've been serving hard time. Ooh, yeah. Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. Slam Jam, now it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. We're life for life, the girl, it's the big show. You got no chance when you're real forget. That's the risk, that's the worst. If you smell what we're cooking, it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. The champion's here. Snap into a Slam Jam. The Slam Jam show. Yeah, yo. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know. It's the Slam Jam show. Lead a blast. One big ass. It's the Slam Jam F1 show from you. Yeah.
Yeah, so hello and welcome everyone to the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv and Slam Jam channels. Make sure you smash those subscribe buttons, share the show, and let's get into things. Ian, say hello to the people.
Good day to the people.
Good day, was that?
Australia, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I see. Yes, that is taking it to the next level. So yeah, all right, let's jump into it. Crown Jewel, what did you think of the show overall?
I really enjoyed it, and I would say the same for the SmackDown and the Raw, like before and after. I think it makes a huge difference being able to watch wrestling at a normal time, like in the afternoon for us UK time, which was great.
Yeah,
and yeah, I thought the show was really strong. Obviously, big news coming out of Raw with Braun Breaker's turn and Seth's injury and all of that fallout. So yeah, I just had a great time with it all, really. Like,
see, the thing that was a shame for me is I was working. I was
bad times.
Absolutely working, so I didn't get to watch it any earlier. And in fact, I didn't get to. I saw the results, but I didn't get to watch it until the next morning. So it was no real change. But I do like these international shows that make this a possibility.
And the Aussie crowd, I think in particular, were maybe my favorite crowd of these shows.
Ian, keep talking. Apparently, there's a problem with my microphone. You can hear me here.
I can hear you perfectly.
You hear me elsewhere. So let me just sort this. You tell us what you think of anything. Go for it.
Excellent. Well, I have literally just seen some breaking news, which isn't Crown Jewel related, that Jacob Fatu is out for a long period of time. A non-wrestling related injury could keep him out of action for a long time, potentially until 2026. So that is that's just breaking in the last hour or so, which might explain why he's not been that visible on TV for a while. But yeah, hope he's okay, I guess. Like, I always worry when I hear the phrase non-wrestling related injury. It kind of paints a pretty
Okay, so hopefully I can be heard is one thing. I'm gonna have to check here. Can I be heard now?
I can hear you just the same as before.
Yeah, but the problem is that
on the stream that it's not.
It's on different platforms, and so I said, and I've put, "Can I be heard now?" Yes, can hear you now. Awesome, good. We're back in the game. So so Jacob Fatu, he said a non-wrestling related injury. Okay, well, let's see what this is going to be. Jacob Fatu, see what we can dig up about this. It's terrible for extended period of time, being well into 2026. That's terrible. That's really unfortunate.
I guess if you want to see a silver lining, it's always difficult when someone's suffered an injury. I'm sure we'll talk more about the Seth situation in a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to.
But with the Seth situation being what it is, you would expect Bron Breakker's going to get a hell of a lot of additional focus and TV time. And Bron Breakker and Jacob were the kind of two. Their stars were rising at a similar time.
Yeah,
so there's a chance of one of them being lost in the shuffle. You could argue that without knowing about this injury, that was maybe happening to Jacob, is that all the focus was heading onto Breakker. So maybe him being away for a little while and coming back when he's
there can be a silver lining in that sense, just because Jacob really has kind of cooled off over the last half year, I would say.
Yeah.
The whole him suddenly attacking, turning on Solo led to nothing really meaningful for him. So you're gone.
I thought that again we're tying into Bron Breakker here as well, because what I really enjoyed about the Bron Breakker turn is that it wasn't the same as the Batista style turn, which is basically when Jacob turned, I felt like they copied and pasted what they did with Batista, of like, this guy's really stupid, and then he overhears and exactly. Whereas I loved them giving Bron just like, Seth wasn't treating him any differently. If anything, he was bigging him up even more, and everything was great for the Vision. And he went, "Nah, I've had enough of this." And of course, it was accelerated because of the injury with Seth. But Bron's turn has been not a turn, but his snapping has been handled much better, I think.
I mean, so first of all, like KD, who's been on the show before, he had he's got a wrestling podcast, and I was a guest on it yesterday, and we spoke about this for quite some time. Seth doesn't need to be doing coast to coast moves. We looked it up. He's 39 now. He's world champion. He just won the Crown Jewel Championship, and in the process of doing that, he did a dangerous move, which I don't remember ever seeing Seth do coast to coast headbutt. That to me screams of, well, if I bounce with my feet, I might just make it with the top of my head. It didn't feel like it was a move designed around confidence that he could pull it off anymore.
No, and I like it. It looked awesome. Like, I have to say, it looked awesome at the time before we knew about the injury. But yeah, the idea of going forwards, whereas Shane is probably the most famous example of the other one who would do it quite regularly.
RVD was the innovator of.
Sure, fair enough. But I guess with both those examples, the person is essentially taking a gigantic back bump. They're still landing on their back, which is
exactly
what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what the alternative was for Seth there. Like, if he was just supposed to land without breaking his fall with his arm, and whether it was just instinct of like, oh shit, I'm gonna fall on my face. But
like it didn't look like the move went wrong in its execution. It looked like it went through as he intended, but obviously the landing was bad.
Yeah.
And it was he went to like pull Cody, and pretty quickly it was that, he's doing it one-armed, and he's favoring an arm. And then there was the photo of him with the sling on. And the interesting thing is, after the summer where he was injured and it was a work, you cry wolf. It's like,
I was just going to say, it's the boy died injury, isn't it? Like, it's such a shame, because by all accounts this is a legit real injury. But they played the cards they did in the summer, and now they're going to have a large portion of the audience questioning whether this is legitimate or not.
And probably also there'll be times where they question a lot of injuries because of and I don't think it's because, like, in wrestling, people get beaten up and then they're meant to be injured. It's always where someone seems like they do a move and get injured. It's like, oh, that must be real. If someone's, if someone puts on a figure of four and then their opponent limps away, we don't even question if they're really injured anymore.
Yeah, and selling a story injury is always much more it's a much larger thing, isn't it? You limp very heavily, whereas all Seth was
Yeah.
doing was just being really, really still, like
Yeah.
on that side of his body.
Yeah.
But he took the spear, he took the tsunami. Maybe that's a good sign that although going to be out for a while, he's not sort of.
Well, he was at least able to do that, but
sure, so he must have been cleared to a point to take those moves. But
yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. If it's like really bad, you don't want a Bron Breaker spear like cutting you in half,
right,
you know.
And then a 300-pound or whatever.
Yeah, and then a tsunami. But yeah, even saying about Bronson Reed is that when he was like last November, I guess, Survivor Series War Games, he did the tsunami. And hello, Dev.
Hi, Dev.
So we were just saying about like injuries and stuff. Obviously, what's happened with Seth, and I was saying that Bronson Reed did the tsunami off the War Games cage, and then put himself out for quite a stretch of time. And these big injuries, it always seems to happen kind of self-inflicted, which obviously the nature of wrestling, that kind of is how a lot of these injuries will come about. But I can understand this, that huge moment in War Games. He's going to be a guy that size, climbs the top of the cage and does a tsunami, but he effed around and found out why he shouldn't have done that. And the thing, like I was just saying to Ian, Dev, is that Seth was world champion. Seth just is winning Crown Jewel championship. He doesn't need to be doing the high flying stuff anymore. Leave that to some cruiserweights. You can slow it down. You can do more psychological stuff. You've got the audience already. You don't need to do moves you've never done before.
But see, a lot of people can never. Okay, so I think it was Evan Bourne, like Matt Sydal, that said that when you start doing high flying moves, it's hard to stop because the adrenaline rush you get from doing the high flying moves. You kind of get addicted to it. So the only person that's managed to transition from high flyer to not is Will Ospreay.
Is he not a high flyer anymore?
He became more of a heavyweight if you compare his earlier work.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's interesting just in terms of like the definition of a high flyer. Used to be like, Shawn Michaels was a high flyer, and when you look at what his high flying repertoire ever was, he'd do something over the top rope, he'd hit a moonsault and something like this and something like that, and that'd be pretty much it. But now the definition of high flyer, when you watch NXT or AEW or indie stuff, is like 630 splashes, which a moonsault was impressive enough, and now it's like, well, we need to spin twice. No, we need to spin a third time.
Dolph Ziggler was saying in an interview where, you were looking at Javon Evans, who was doing 450 swantons, doing nothing. And that he, like back in the day, like he knew he couldn't be that athletic, so he was focused on his psychology. But Javon Evans also got his psychology down at age 19.
Well, I still think he's psychology. You can still keep working on it, like whatever age.
Well, I think to talk about psychology in the context of the Cody Seth match, I actually thought the psychology of the story that they told was really strong, because Seth had never beaten Cody, and then Seth quite early on went to get the watch and chose not to use it. So I kind of read the sort of second half of that match of Seth having to do more and do more and he still can't get it done, and he still can't get it done, which is why the watch was like a desperation. I'm going to have to cheat after all. So the coast to coast, from my viewpoint, kind of fit into that story they were telling of like, I just can't beat this guy, so now I'm going to have to go and try and do a coast to coast, and I'm still not getting it done.
Yeah. Okay, so here is a question which I've seen surprisingly little talk of, actually. What happens to the world title? Like, I haven't seen that much. I haven't seen people say Bron's definitely taking it. Obviously, he picked it up. He posed with it. but they can't just give it to him. So there needs to be some plan of how they. If I think it would be a mistake to put it on Bron Breakker here. They need to find a way into that. But go on, Dev.
They're gonna have a tournament, and Bronson is going to eat whoever faces Braun.
He's going to eat him.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so the options, I guess, is it could be Braun. I don't think it will be Bronson Reed. It could be Brock. Just to continue this Vision storyline. This is why they shouldn't be called the Vision. I always said they should have been named the Dangerous Alliance, because that's what Heyman had back in the day, and then it would work for whoever Heyman's got. It shouldn't have been a Seth thing. But if it's like, okay, could John Cena get it? Make it 18? They've got an open spot. Who could they put it on?
I think it's telling that they made Punk the number one contender.
Put on Dom.
And they already knew. I mean,
Yeah.
Dom's not the worst shout at this point. Like, if he wasn't already holding the IC and the Mega Championship, maybe they could. I still think, he could be a world champion one day. Might be a little premature now. Punk is kind of in the Moxley position, when Moxley a couple of times in AEW sort of took on that mantle of, okay, I think it was when Punk had to vacate, didn't he?
There was.
AEW, and Moxley took it on. So there's, they do have people who are sort of, their gravitational pull is strong enough that they can.
Did Drew ever get a proper world title run after COVID?
No, he got the win, didn't he, at Mania, and then Punk beat him up and Priest cashed in.
Yeah. I feel like Drew deserves a world title, and I think if he can pick up all of the momentum and everything he had this time last year, then he can have a fantastic run. My worry is if they suddenly were to go Drew McIntyre, is that I don't feel like everything is shaped around him being world champion at the moment.
I kind of like to see him turn babyface again, because I'd like if and when he gets that moment.
I'm enjoying him as a heel so much, though.
Yeah, same. I just think there's something about, because he's lost that moment. The idea of him finally getting the big one and having all the fans on his side,
So if we would say like what would be an interesting thing about Punk is now the number one contender.
Right.
He was the number one contender. Like, it's terrible to bring it up in otherwise a somewhat frivolous way, but Punk was the number one contender for the ECW title when the Chris Benoit situation happened. And then they put Johnny Nitro in Benoit's place, and then Punk didn't actually win. And it's like the guy who wasn't even factored into the situation walked away with the title.
I think that...
Well, hang on one second. Punk being the number one contender, I don't think it necessarily means that, they've just lined it up so Punk can do it. It might be Punk, and it might be Breaker, or it could be mystery person, whoever else. It could be Drew, it could be Brock, it could be Bronson. But go on, Dev, what's your thought?
Johnny Nitro replacing Chris Benoit was the greatest thing that ever happened, because of everything happened afterwards.
What?
Johnny Nitro became John Morrison. Had the greatest entrance of all time.
What?
Wow, that's a big claim.
I couldn't believe that. Like, he won the ECW title as Johnny Nitro, and then I think it was literally the next week or the next night. He was like, "I'm John Morrison," and I was like, "No, you're not." I was like, Johnny Nitro was a perfectly fine name,
and the fact that they kept on, because they changed his surname, they kept that gimmick going on for 20 years. So it became Johnny surname. 20 years.
Well, see, the thing was, he was already Johnny's surname, because for the first few weeks that he was on TV, like as Eric Bischoff's lackey or whatever, he was Johnny Ace, Johnny Spade, or something like this. He had like 3 names before they settled on Johnny Nitro. Johnny Nitro. But my favorite Johnny Nitro name is that there is a video game which is based on WrestleFest. And it's called Retromania Wrestling. Yeah. And in it, he's Johnny Retro. And I think that was just a cool... That is a cool gimmick. It's a very weird gimmick. It's that his last name changes based on wherever he is. Oh, yeah, so here it is. So Obviously he's John Hennigan. Johnny Blaze was one of them. Johnny Nitro, Johnny Spade. He wasn't. Oh no, of course it's not Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace is Johnny.
That's Laurinaitis.
Yeah, it's Laurinaitis. But yeah, so Johnny Spade. I knew it was a card, but so Johnny Spade, Johnny Blaze. Then he became Johnny Nitro, and apparently he's also been Johnny Fusion, Johnny Hardy. How did that come about?
When he was tagging with Matt to replace Jeff.
Okay. Johnny TV, but
Plus, I'm pretty biased because I helped him beat Jack Evans.
Yes, I do recall this story. Yeah, but yeah. So coming back to Crown Jewel, the highlight of the show for me was obviously AJ and Cena, and I really enjoyed that match. And it was kind of not the greatest match. It was kind of like Hogan versus Rock from WrestleMania 18, in that it kind of wasn't a great match really, but everything about it was great, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like everything they did was great, and the fans were so into it. And all of the references, like this is CM Punk's fault. CM Punk returned to wrestling and just started copying Bret Hart matches. And so now everyone is just putting in references and copying moves. And it's not like, oh, this wrestler is doing the move of their opponent, because they've done that forever. It's that they're doing moves of random people they wrestled in the past. And it's just like a weird tribute show era that we're in.
Do you remember when Bianca and Alexa did Scary Movie?
Scary Movie, yeah.
Yes. That was the weirdest one. Like, I wonder how they came up with that idea. I've never heard the backstory to that.
I think I've heard Alexa say that she didn't know that people would realize that that's what they were doing. Like, it was a thing they did for them, and then like they didn't expect it to sort of catch on.
Yeah. Like one day Bianca's watching the movie and it's like, I want to do that. And then that was it.
That was crazy. And one thing I've never I've said this so many times over the years, like, so famously Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, for their WrestleMania 3 match, which was, you know, one of the all-time great heralded matches, is Savage worked out move by move what they would do. He planned this for weeks or months. And the story goes that Savage would call up Ricky Steamboat and be like, what's move 87? And they've got to remember this huge sequence, and then it paid off. Why has no one ever just done a move for move recreation of that match?
I know they tried to do a bunch of Eddie and Ray. I know that Dominic tried to do a bunch of like Eddie stuff from the Ray and Eddie match.
Yeah.
In the Ray and Eddie, in the Dom and Ray match, yeah.
Yeah, well,
but,
yeah, but like the whole match, I mean, not a reference, the whole match.
I don't think they've ever done any like that at all. I know that Punk did the was it Macho Man and Bret Hart and X-Pac match.
Well,
they did the entire thing.
He didn't do the entire thing.
Did he not?
No. Right. So when Punk had his debut in AEW, his debut match, it was against Darby Allin, and it was loads of moments that people then put together in the montage of Bret and 1-2-3 Kid, and there was a load of CM Punk matches where it was just callbacks to past Bret Hart matches. That's why Hangman Adam Page probably didn't, he was like, I don't want to do a masturbatory Bret Hart fantasy recreation with you. And he said this on TV. And at the time I was like, why would you call this? Like, I don't get the logic of sometimes calling out certain things that they do on TV. But obviously, Hangman and Punk became real life actual enemies.
That was the spark that lit the fuse, really, wasn't it, for everything that happened over the next many months?
What the weird thing about that, because I've actually written quite a lot about that and like looked at what so many people said, is it was the whole Colt Cabana thing, So Colt Cabana was friends with the Young Bucks, friends with Hangman Page, and Hangman Page's accusation is that CM Punk was having whispers backstage and then this is what Hangman Page called him out on, saying all these quiet moments when people don't see you, what you're doing to manipulate things, and you're not a real for the people locker room leader. And Punk was blindsided by this. So when you go back and watch that promo, Punk has later said that he could barely hear in the arena, and because it was stuff that he completely wasn't expecting, he didn't know even how to respond to this. And so that's why, obviously, Punk went away. They had their match. He won his title. He got injured by, again, jumping into the crowd, doing a crowd dive, self-inflicted injury, was out for months. And when he came back, he then called out Hangman Page, like, let's have a rematch right now, knowing that Hangman Page wasn't back there, wasn't able to come back for it.
Right.
And that was like okay, you surprised me, I've surprised you. It still didn't let up. Things just kept escalating. But go on, Dev.
Did you see that Darby Allin called CM Punk a cancer this week?
He didn't.
So that's been debunked over and over again. But that was what everyone assumed. And the only reason that's the case is because of Seth Rollins. Because he was like, before Punk came back to WWE, Seth referred to what he called him, Philly Phil, and said that he's a cancer, we don't need you. And so hearing CM Punk referred to as a cancer, everyone's like, that's who Darby means. But Punk has said that Darby's his friend, so that would be really weird. And so they've said that.
Who else could they be though? Because there's nothing there.
Literally the next 1 or 2 minutes of that interview, he goes on to talk about people not wanting to lose, which is about as big an allusion to Miro and Malachi Black as it could be. So it wasn't Punk he was talking about.
Yeah,
I did see a really weird clip of him just someone handing him a cup of water and him just pouring it over his face.
Yes,
yeah, that was weird.
He's hardcore.
Yeah,
weird guy.
If I was the interviewer, I'd be like, "You're paying for that chair. Like, what are you doing?
And that equipment that you must.
Yeah, you've got a headset on. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, imagine if that, like headphones. Obviously, they conduct some amount of electricity, so you don't think something's going to really go wrong. But imagine if he just sat there and he's explaining to the police, yeah, he tipped water over his head and then he electrocuted himself.
It's like Adam's Family Values.
It's what?
It's like Adam's Family Values, that electrocution scene.
Oh, do you know, I don't remember the film that well. I know I liked it, but I haven't seen Adam's Family Values in a long time. But you go on. Ian.
I was just gonna say, to go back to Cena and Styles, like I said on the group chat, like, it was fun. It wasn't my favorite match of the night. I've been pretty vocal about not being a Cena guy. I did enjoy it though, but I think the best way I can put how I felt about it is that, like, instead of having a meal, like, think of your favorite meal and like whatever that involves, it was like being at the pick and mix and just shoveling sweets into your mouth, which feels great. And like, it's all delicious. And I'm going to have one of those. And now I'm going to have one of those. And now I'm going to have a sweet chin music. And now I'm going to have this, and just piling it all in. So it was very exciting, but it wasn't like, there wasn't a lot of substance there for me.
Yeah, I get it.
The Bray tribute was genuinely moving. Like, I thought that was incredible, and the crowd made that even more so.
Well, for me, the Bray tribute that's the best looking Sister Abigail I've ever seen. Now, it's probably that AJ Styles sold it like it was a shotgun, like going off on him.
Right.
But like Cena doing it. Now, Bray was like a bigger guy, bigger built guy. And it's the same with the Crossroads. Any of these like spinny moves where the opponent lands more on top of you. Oh, sorry guys, did you see that? You guys take care. I'm gonna just make sure I don't. Oh, like I just died.
Oh, he's gone. So, like, I thought the Cena in particular was really great during that Bray Wyatt moment. I think so much about what I don't enjoy about Cena is he kind of oversells everything is really big.
Yeah.
And when the when the Fireflies came out or when the fans started to sing,
Yeah.
he didn't make a big thing of it. He just did this really quiet look up, and I think he nodded at Bray.
Yeah.
And I was like, I teared up genuinely during that moment. I
Yeah,
thought it was-
yeah. So did he. Like, if you look at it, he tears up as well.
yeah. But what were your thoughts on the match, Dev? I know that you were
For me,
probably
it was
higher on
like
than I was.
it was like again going back to the food analogy. It was like going to a buffet and picking the best things I want,
Yeah.
piling it onto a plate.
Yeah.
Okay,
a lot of
1
different
second,
things.
guys. Look, 1 second. So first of all, look, I was in the middle. This is some like weird Bray Wyatt magic.
Now
I was
you're a
saying that,
floating head.
yeah, I was saying like, oh, Cena did a better Sister Abigail. Suddenly, this collapsed around me. Now I'm disappearing. Right, this is weird Wyatt 6 hocus pocus getting rid of me.
Run.
Exactly. What the hell? What the hell happened to this? Why have can I fix it? That's so weird.
You're a ghost.
That's so if I could just quickly pick up that point. So Bray being a bigger built guy, same with like Cody, any wrestler that does a move where the opponent lands on you when you spin it around, I feel like you're giving them such padding and stuff like this.
Mhm.
But so that Sister Abigail really looks like he sold it so well, and that's one of what AJ does. He sells so well, he makes his opponent's moves look devastating. But yeah, like these references along the way were just really enjoyable. And even though it wasn't a great match, this is why I said it was like Hogan and Rock. It was like everything about, and like Pick a Mix is a good comparison. It was just lots of things that are like fun to enjoy along the way.
It was a spectacle. Like it was a huge spectacle. And the crowd that were there, whilst it wasn't the best match ever, the crowd that were there will probably remember it as being the best match ever for them because it was just an experience. You know.
Yeah, go on, Dev.
What I also really enjoyed was Cena giving a personalized intro to AJ Styles.
That was nice.
Yeah.
With all the callbacks to
Seems like AJ wasn't aware that was going to happen as well.
No, he wasn't.
Gave it an additional.
So they managed to like squeeze in everything, like the face of the embodiment of total non-stop action.
Yeah, and
the lead of
the Bullet Club, and he was like, "Wow," because AJ is like clearly like ever since he's been in WWE, it's like we're the club, you know, and stuff like this. And he's just wanted to continue the Bullet Club forever, you know. Well, actually, something else to pick up on this because it was then confirmed even more so. I saw in the last couple of days. AJ has announced that he is retiring next year.
Yeah.
Which
we're gonna get AJ 1 year finale run.
Yeah. Well, the impression I've got is that AJ has just said that he's going to retire sometime in 2026. He hasn't said, whereas Cena sort of this time last year said, I'm going until December 2025. AJ has just said 26 will be my last year, and I don't know if it'll be Mania. I don't know if it'll be SummerSlam. So I don't think they're going to roll out the fan.
It will be Saturday night's main event.
Let it be Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. He's like, screw this.
No, like because he debuted in Royal Rumble, so you can like retire at the Royal Rumble as well.
Okay.
Imagine the camera can miss it.
Yeah. Imagine someone winning the Royal Rumble as their last match. It's like, yeah, I retire. You're like, no, you don't. It's like you got to cash in this prize here.
Yeah,
the type of thing that The Rock would do, just come along and win the Rumble and be like, yeah, you've got what you need from me now. I'll see you.
Didn't Brock do exactly that a few years ago? He was like, I retain my title by.
I retain my. When was that?
When he had to win the Rumble too. The title was on the line for the Rumble, and he had to win to keep it.
I remember Roman having a Rumble.
Was
like
it Roman
that, and then Triple H beat him.
And then, and what I remember, like when Drew won, Brock was the world champion, and he did say, "I'm going to go in at number one, and I'm just going to win the Rumble, and then I don't have to fight someone at Mania." And he got rid of like 13 people.
That's right.
And then Drew knocks him out with an assist from Ricochet of all people.
So what was the storyline in 2022? Did he lose his title and enter the Rumble? Because I'm trying to remember.
Who, Brock?
Yeah, Brock.
Did he win the Rumble in 2022?
Yeah.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember why he was in that match when he had the title.
So he lost to Bobby Lashley earlier in the night,
Ah,
and then entered and won the Rumble.
Oh, okay.
because I thought he won with the title. Yeah.
Okay, so we can come back. Well, okay, so something else from the Cena match, just to mention, like the tombstone at the end. Now, he did a
Nobody kicks out of the tombstone.
He did a jumping tombstone. The only time I've seen The Undertaker do a jumping tombstone was when he finished off Shawn Michaels' career. But like Cena, he first of all, the way he hoisted him up was like he was like going for the FU, and he was like, oh, like this. And I think like because it's like these guys, they're just doing finisher after finisher, screeching music, RKOs, Sister Abigail's, these are all the finishes. But my justification for why this was okay is Cena didn't execute any of them that well. Other than the Sister Abigail, like he did his jump for the RKO. It didn't get air.
It was the selling for the punt afterwards as well, where he was like a wacky waving flame, arm flame.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
And so then when it came to the tombstone, it's like you watch Undertaker, he'll like lift up on his tiptoes, go down. And Cena was like, he kicked out with both feet going out different directions. And then, luckily, AJ isn't that tall. And so he was absolutely fine. And because he's got the long hair, it just looked like it connected. But I was like, oh my God. So he's never done it before. And he's just killed AJ Styles with it. So, yeah. Cena, every time he's like, over the years where people are like, you can't wrestle, and he'll suddenly pull out some move, he doesn't execute them that well. It's like he never practiced
part of the point, doesn't he?
Yeah, but so strange on that fact.
The one for me is the 619 that they teased because the crowd were chanting for it. And then I suddenly thought, well, I'm glad they didn't go for it, but if Dom is going to be his last opponent, does he go for it? Does he hit a 619 on Dom? Because that would be quite sweet.
Can he hit a 619?
Can he is a much bigger question.
He won't, but what we will get if it's versus Dom, we'll get a frog splash.
Yeah, from
we'll get Eddie Guerrero frog splash.
Yeah.
That'll be a sight to behold.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, the one thing I like about these Cena matches is when he does moves from people who aren't in the company. Like the Walls of Jericho.
Oh yeah,
He did Edge's spear, didn't he? And Michael Cole was like Roman. I think he called it Roman Reigns' spear, and it's like no.
And then to confirm, Cena went a picture of Edge. Here you go.
Yeah. But I think that's maybe is part of why I didn't love the AJ match as much as others, is because I think the callbacks he's been doing through previous matches, he's put like one or two like call outs in there. Like when he did the Edge spear stuff, whereas this was just like, okay, we've only got 4 dates left. Shit, here's all of them. Like, take them all.
Yeah,
like, it was good. I did have fun watching it, though. I have to
say. There's been the stuff recently in the last few days saying about Cena has not been happy with his retirement run, and so it's quite possible that as it's winding down, he's just like, well, what do I want to do? And he might even just be, when I do these spots, the crowd goes crazy and he enjoys it.
Yeah. And plus, like, I think for the end of his run, you're trying to prove that he doesn't only have 5 moves. He has everyone else's.
Well, he's got everyone else's. He's only got 5 of his own. He can't make a whole spectacle using his
also like they put in the Christopher Daniels finisher. Because Cena and AJ both have a history with Christopher Daniels.
What's Cena's history with Christopher Daniels?
They wrestled together in like WWE like years ago.
Did they?
What, in like OVW or something?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be possible because I don't think Christopher Daniels ever had a WWE run. But
no, sorry, I got it wrong. He was trained by him.
Ah, okay.
Christopher Daniels trained Cena.
Christopher Daniels. Wait, so okay, then how did John Cena turn out like that? If I was Christopher Daniels, oh wow, like trained by it says Christopher Daniels. Wow, okay. Then how come Christopher Daniels never got a shot on the WWE main roster?
I'm not sure.
The golden
I know
shovel
Kazarian did.
started early, I guess.
Well, yeah, Kazarian did. I always felt like Frankie Kazarian's run in WWE is like a really tragic story in that he went up to like people backstage like, hey, like I've got some ideas for my gimmick, and they thought he was an enhancement talent, and so at that point he quit. He's like, these people don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of people not knowing who anyone is, one of the big things in the last day has been about Andrade. Apparently, did have a no-compete clause and got AEW some degree of hot water by debuting. So I'm sure he will continue there in, I don't know, 2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
How long it'll take.
They wiped him from history. Like, they wiped him from every plan.
It just it blows my mind that like the two big companies in the US don't have lawyers that check this stuff before you put the guy on TV when no competes are such a common part of wrestlers moving. You'd think they'd have been through his contract with a fine-tooth comb, but like, are we sure that he's got no clause here?
Do you know what would be the funniest thing? So if he's the no compete basically means that he's kind of still under contract. Right. I would call him to TV this week so that he's gone from WWE to AEW to AEW to WWE, WWE to AEW. I'll be like, dude, you've got to be at SmackDown this week. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Just to jog him out in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, make him lose to like Cena for another match.
Okay.
Although, yeah.
Okay, go on. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say about the Cena match. Like they did it. It's like I think Cena doesn't do it properly on purpose. Just have his own version of the movie Stolen. Like he doesn't do it exactly like when he does someone else's finisher move. He does it his own way, so like it's unique to him, rather than completely imitating the person who's copying, basically.
So you think he's doing that on purpose?
Yeah. So it's like it's a bit more of his personality when he does it, basically.
I mean, I don't think that's a choice, but I don't think he has a choice over the matter. But it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other matches on Crown Jewel we can go over. Like the tag team match, the women's tag team match was really, really good.
Yeah,
like, really good. And it was, and obviously Rhea's was in it, and it's in Australia, but it was just a really good match either way.
Yeah, I think Asuka is sort of going from strength to strength in this character, and the Asuka Kairi dynamic is becoming more interesting than the Asuka Io dynamic at times. Like the segment they had on Raw, where Kairi was like, "Here's this bruise," and then Asuka just slapped the shit out of her. The reaction from the crowd was a real, not a performative, but a real like, "Oh my god, like this is you're being horrible."
So here's the question I'll say from that though, is where can that go where it isn't just, oh, we're waiting for Kairi to turn on Asuka? Because I feel like, oh, when is Jacob going to get fed up of Solo? When is Batista going to get fed up of Triple H? When is when is Jay going to turn on Roman? It's just like, what else can they do with this dynamic where it's like, we know there's trouble in paradise, we know someone is like held down by someone else, and we're just waiting for them to snap, and then they snap, then they feud, they win, they exchange a win. Like, what else can they do with this?
It's Triple H's favorite story dynamic, isn't it? Because you look at Roman and the Usos with the bloodline, and now Jay and Jimmy, like it's all like powerful person lackey who then will one day turn. Like,
yeah, Dev.
I'm just worried that the internet will turn this into like a domestic violence like storyline and be like, this is too reminiscent of the domestic violence. We want you to stop this storyline. It's too triggering for people, etc., etc.
It's interesting just because if it was, I mean, obviously domestic violence can take many forms, but usually people see that as like a relationship. Like this is their tag team partners, and I just think like wrestling is based on violence. Like there is, if you remove violence from wrestling, it is literally, it has nowhere to go. It's just promos that build to nothing. People, you have the promos, you have everything to build up to people to get into the ring and get physical. And you can have it over a title, or you have it be something that's personal. And usually the personal aspect is what makes it a lot more interesting than just a title, which, you know, saying about, oh, AEW have got another Continental Classic or whatever coming up, or there's a gauntlet for the gold. It's just like, yeah, okay, let's find out why these people want to fight is always what's more interesting. And having it just so, having the dynamic that there's like the boss of the group, and then they're mean to the person underneath. Like, could it even actually work the other way around? What is is there a version of that works the other way around? So say Oscar's the leader, but Kyrie's like doing stuff and getting pissy with her. How does that work? Does that work? It might not work. Doesn't feel like it does work.
I didn't do that with Vision.
What, just literally in this turn though? Yeah, but that's literally just someone turns on something. That isn't like a prolonged storyline of something building up.
Or like
if they hadn't
another example would be Judgment Day turning on Edge, maybe.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again, didn't that just come out the blue? Like, I think the storyline all happened after that. Like, it was because Judgment Day is such a weird group. Edge started a group. There was Damian Priest in it and Finn Balor. They added Rhea Ripley, I think. And then almost immediately, a month in, maybe, they just suddenly decided to get rid of Edge. Mm-hmm. And it made no sense to get rid of the leader that quickly. But again, this might be a sign why the underling suddenly... Okay, hang on. Sorry. Right, so this is it. This is how you make it work. And I have to go to a movie, and we have to see if there is a version of it in wrestling. So if you look at, like, Spider-Man, and there's the Green Goblin, and he's like the leader of, owner of this business, and you just suddenly see that other people are forcing the leader out, and they're like, you can't get rid of me, this is my company, I am this company. And it's like, so what's the version they can do with
Matt and Nick?
What, the Jacksons?
Yeah,
kind of, except for Tony is the... If there was... I guess they might have done it with Vince McMahon being the owner of WWE, and people trying to overthrow the king in that regard, because obviously Ric Flair suddenly owned half of Raw, and Shane and Stephanie. So at that level, I think there is the storyline. But if you just take it down to, because why is Asuka the leader over Kyrie? It's just an agreement between them.
Well, and it's aggression, isn't it? And she is the dominant personality in that particular relationship.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, what else didn't we discuss from that show? Roman.
Yeah, Roman. Yeah. It was a fun
match.
It was much better than the last match he had with Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
I think adding the stipulation and just watching Roman swagger around with a smile on his face doing weapons stuff was fun. I'm still very bored with the Usos sort of fracturing relationship and the help me but don't help me, and I'm going to help you but I'm going to be mad at you because I had to help you, and Roman saying I don't want to see you until after Christmas. So what does that mean for War Games, especially now with Seth being out of the picture? Like,
What does that mean for War Games?
I wouldn't do one. I do a women's War Games. You've got the stories there because you can have Rhea
That would
and
be
Io,
interesting. Yeah.
Asuka and Kairi, and then some others, and just have the women take the center stage with the War Games, because I don't think that the Vision and Brock now maybe, and Austin Theory's name was doing the rounds.
I don't want Austin Theory.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dev. Go ahead.
It's weird that in the last year, Bronson Reed has pinned two of the most dominant wrestlers in the last 5 years. With Okada and Roman.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's quite the CV.
Yeah, but they're going to do nothing with him because there's nothing to do with him.
Well, now that they've had to sort of pull the trigger on Braun turning on Seth a bit earlier than I think, because there was rumors that was going to go on for at least another year. In which case you could have had Braun and Bronson save the tag team division and actually give them the tag titles, which they should have really done months ago. I don't see them doing that now that Braun is holding up the world title.
Yeah,
which could be bad timing for Bronson.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Like, whichever one of them takes a world title, the other one is kind of a little bit like stymied to the side. Like they don't really have the same.
You've already got to draw a parallel with Asuka and Kairi. You've already got Braun doing the same thing to them of being like, make a choice, like choose right now whether it's him or me, which I liked in the moment, but it's yet another dynamic of this one's in charge and he's going to be nasty to those who are under.
How has Paul Heyman ever made a decision where he's not under duress? Like every single thing that, like, even with Seth, like, I know he turned and then sided with Seth, but Seth had been going at him for a while. Is there anything where Heyman, because every single time one of these things happens, Heyman's like, he's the mastermind of everything, but also completely unaware of anything that's about to happen.
Yeah, he's in the same breath the mastermind and the rat that will be the first one to jump off the ship. So he made that choice in that moment of Bron Breakker's just killed Seth. Okay, yeah, I'll raise your hand, Bron Breakker. That's fine. That wasn't my plan, but go for it. You know.
Yeah.
He's
the funny thing is, Tommy Dreamer says that character trait is based off real life because of how he used to be in ECW when he would only pay people if he was threatened.
It's crazy.
Speaking of ECW,
I also kind of believe it as well.
Yeah, speaking of ECW, have you guys seen the final Dudley's match?
Final table. Yeah, I saw clips, which was more than enough for me.
Okay, so
Bully Ray doing his best Ric Flair.
This is what I was going to say. So the ending of it, I spoke about this on this podcast yesterday with KD. The difference for me is if you go like the Ric Flair moment with Shawn Michaels, Flair is down on his knees. He literally has no energy left. And Michaels is like, sorry, I love you. I'm putting you out of your misery. A year later, 2 years later, because he wrestled The Undertaker the next 2 years, Shawn Michaels is laying on the ground, can barely move. Undertaker showing mercy. He's just like, stay down. Shawn Michaels literally has to crawl up Undertaker and defiantly slaps him across the face, to which Undertaker sees red and puts him out of his misery, right? Bully Ray was on his feet. And I just think if you're on your feet, you can still go. You can still do something. The difference is with these other ones that have done this moment is that you see that there is absolutely nothing left. Bully Ray was facing the table. He turns round and they go over, and he could have, especially from that position, all he needed to do was grab them and pull him through with him. And arguably, I'd say, it's either a tie or one guy puts two people through a table. You give it to him.
See, with that, it's very interesting because I can tell they had to end it early because Jeff Hardy cracked his head open. Did you see that spot?
No, I didn't.
He did a swanton.
Jeff was the first one eliminated. Is that right?
No, Devon. Well, yeah, technically, the first one eliminated, and then it was Devon. But the way Devon was eliminated was horrifying to see what happened to Jeff, because he did a swanton onto tables, but the back of his head slammed against the last 3 rungs of the ladder.
Oof.
So like his head got cheese grated off the rungs of the ladder.
Well, do you know what? Hang on. Let me see if I can I can't screen share that, but I do have this, like the end moment here. I haven't got the screen share up. Let's just quickly grab this. Make sure there's
Have you
nothing.
seen Matt Hardy's tweet about the match as well?
Maybe I can't remember it though.
Self-aggrandizing post of just like, oh, people in TNA should be thanking us for what we did, and da 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 da.
The only thing I'll say is, look, the whole NXT thing has really helped TNA, but I think this is the thing that a lot of people will, this interested me more than the TNA versus NXT match.
Right.
So, but look, he's on his feet. You can dive out of the ring. You still have a chance here. I think this could have been better. Like, he's just looking at it. Just run and clothesline them, Bubba. I tell you what I did like, though, when they did the intro, because obviously Team 3D, they've never allowed to be called the Dudley Boys, but they did announce them as Team 3D, the Dudley Boys from Dudleyville.
Mm-hmm.
One extra thing you forgot as well, they had Spike come out and give him glasses.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Spike being there. 1 second, guys. I'm just choking to death here. Yeah,
I really want to fight. Yeah, what they should have done is, instead of having Dark State invade the Javon Evans and Leon Slater match, they should have just invaded this one and put Devon for a table, put Bubba for a table. Because Dark State, the new Nexus, Dark State or whatever they're called, invaded the X Division match, which was a really good match until they messed it up.
Yeah,
they should have saved that until the end of it.
So,
but
the
entire pay-per-view was a mess, because the polio shot battle royale they had at the beginning was all ex-WWE guys for one,
right?
And the final two were I'm trying to think, Dolph Ziggler and Kazarian. But it was a draw, so they both won.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, here's something that's quite telling, really. So when I go on to X on this, and it's TNA Bound for Glory, the top thing that comes up is the Dudleys. The next thing that comes up is the Dudleys with Spike. The next thing that comes up is the Dudleys. Like, I genuinely think this was the only thing. And you get all the way down here before. Did we go past it already, or was it still the Indy Hartwell? Then you get Joe Hendry's entrance. And then you get the world title, Mike Santana. Mm-hmm. So, like, I honestly think the Dudleys and the Hardys were the point of interest. For me, though, I would have had the Dudleys win. And if I was WWE, and I'd say, yeah, let them get the NXT titles, because it adds a bit more shine to it. The most decorated tag team of all time have won your tag team championship in NXT, and they retire on it or whatever. You then have them come out and do some invitational or something. You get the Dudleys on TV for this purpose. And Devon's got like 2 sons, right? Yeah.
I think so,
right? So just call them the Dudley Boys and have them wrestle for it.
The Dudley Boys.
Yeah, exactly. And have them wrestle against the Hardys or whatever. But they had the opportunity where the Dudleys could have had the WWF, WCW, ECW, WWE for a difference, NWA, IWGP, and NXT tag team titles. They didn't take it. Now, the Hardys have had most of those, except for I don't think they were ever NWA tag team champions, and they definitely weren't ECW tag team champions. So they've got similar legacies, but you had an opportunity, and it would have been the last opportunity for any tag team to have had the ECW and then NXT tag team titles. Right. So slight missed opportunity there. But right, guys, anything else in particular, either from Crown Jewel, like we said, AJ Styles announced that he's going to be wrapping his career up. Anything else in particular from Raw, other than the Seth thing?
I can't think of anything from Raw. SmackDown obviously had Aleister Black sort of aligning himself with Zelina Vega. Which will be interesting, something to do for both of them, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just so disinterested in Aleister Black. I was never interested in Aleister Black. I was less interested in Malachi Black.
They've kind of totally fumbled his return. I thought the match with Priest was good.
Yeah, you can have a good match. You can have a good, yeah.
Enjoyed the Aussie crowd chanting about Asuka. Did you hear the Aussie crowd chanting about Asuka?
What were they chanting? I saw where they got Wade Barrett to say about, and he's a wanker. You know?
Yeah. The other one was Asuka's a shit cunt, like over and over again. And they were doing it behind Rhea Ripley while she was being interviewed on one of the post-show things. And then it came back on when she slapped Kyrie. It came back in the background then, and I don't think the Netflix censors caught it, so that was fun.
Wow.
And I particularly enjoyed the Aussie fan as well when Roman was shouting at the Usos after Roman lost. And I could just hear this one guy in the crowd going, "Hug it out. Have a beer. You'll be all right. Have a beer. It's fine."
That's how you solve everything else.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed the Aussie crowd for what they were.
Okay, one other thing, just having a quick scan through of headlines here. Adding fuel to the idea that Chris Jericho will end up back in WWE is that he's announced his next Jericho Cruise. And the only people announced for it are non-AEW wrestlers, which suggests that he may be finishing up there.
Yeah, and the crowd for the Walls of Jericho in the Cena AJ match, that would have raised some alarm bells as well, of like the crowd is still going to be there for him if he does come back at the Rumble. But it was interesting they didn't do a rock bottom during the Cena AJ match. Almost
they might. There still might be something that they're. Are they going to pay off the storyline with the Rock at all? Because the Smashing Machine flopped hard. You know, it cost $40 million to make. It made $6 million. You know, throwing it a bone. I think Christopher Nolan or someone like a day ago, someone said about, "Oh, if you only see one performance this year, watch Dwayne Johnson." You know, but
David, do you remember me saying a year ago that The Rock will be back when his next movie flops?
I think now's the time.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he's at the gym. He's pumping those steroids in.
Yeah. Also, I found a clip of the Jeff Hardy thing.
Okay.
I put it in the StreamYard chat.
In the StreamYard chat. Let's quickly find this. So this is him.
Hitting the back of his head on the ladder.
Is it rough to watch?
Not that bad.
Oh my god! I don't even know if I want to see this. Just from this freeze frame, this doesn't look good, especially when you say how he's going to land.
Oh, he must have dropped like a star.
Oh my god! It's in slow motion. I don't know if I can watch this.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. So where did it hit? The ladder.
The last 3 rungs of the ladder hit the back of his neck.
Thank God for that guy's phone, which blocked the worst of that.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay, I don't need to see that again. Yeah, so this is what we're saying about high flyers, right? How can Jeff Hardy... He's got a twist of fate. This is where, like, Matt, like, right from the beginning, Matt was just like, I do a twist of fate, I do a leg drop, I'm going to mostly be a ground wrestler, but people will consider me a high flyer because of, like, a leg drop. He doesn't need to keep doing it.
He can't do the leg drop anymore because that, like, messed up his hips.
Well, yeah, like he did it off the top of the cage and then against Edge. And you think how many years ago that was? That's like going to be like 18 years ago or something, which is insane. But yeah. Right. Anyway, guys, let's wrap this up here. I'll have a very quick refresh of a page to see if there's any breaking news because it usually happens immediately after the show has ended. But Ian, where can people find you?
Before we go, right here next time. Sorry.
No, okay, go. Good. We'll come to you back in a second.
Go on, Ian.
I was only going to say you can see me here next time. I've got no social.
Okay, Dev, what were you wanting to quickly?
I was going to say they've just announced that Kota Ibushi's out for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes, with his leg. Yeah, it's rough.
Okay, so who? Very quickly, if you've seen that, whose fault was it? Is it just a freak accident? Is it Josh Alexander's fault? I just think it's another move where if you're stood on like the second rope and you're trying to stand up with another adult male human being on your shoulders, and now you're putting them, you think getting into the ring, the top of the ropes, and then another 2 or 3 feet on top of it. That's like you gave him like a 10-foot fall or something. So
yeah. Although saying that, Samoa Joe did the exact same thing 10 years ago to Tyson Kidd.
Not on the top rope. I thought it was the muscle buster went wrong.
Yeah, it was a muscle buster, wasn't it? But it was top rope, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
He doesn't do a muscle buster off the top rope.
It was a house show. It was a house show one.
So he did a muscle buster off the top rope on a house show.
Yeah.
See, this is you don't need to do this, guys. Like, you don't need to do it.
Well, it was like Kyrie did the Alabama slam to EO on the apron, which was really dangerous. And it was during a commercial break. It's like, what are you doing? If you've got to do a spot like that, then great. Don't do it in a commercial. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
There's a time
and place. And this is the other thing. So, obviously, Kevin Owens is out. Who knows if he'll be back? But in this most recent run, they made a pile driver the most devastating move. And, like, the funny thing is, I can't think... So, they banned the pile driver after the Droz incident with D'Lo Brown when he wasn't doing a pile driver. It was, like, D'Lo's powerbomb move. Who's actually been really severely injured from something like a pile driver? And yet, no, okay, but that was a botched tombstone. See what I mean?
Was it?
No, that was the Owen Hart one. The Owen Hart.
Yeah. But it was a botched tombstone because when you go back and watch it, and when you read Steve Austin's book as well, Owen picked Austin up so that it was positioned like a tombstone, but then he sat down on it like it was a regular pile driver.
Okay.
And so that's why it went wrong, because his head wasn't supported. Because on a tombstone, you go down on your knees with the head there. On a pile driver, you have their head supported between your legs, and that way that your body curves with the legs. And so your shoulders go down like this. With Austin being the wrong way round, that's where it went wrong. Because and when you read Steve Austin's book, and it's always something slightly weird in the book, because the way he retells it is he says, because I don't always just trust anyone to do a pile driver on me. So I went up to Owen, who is the brother of Bret Hart, and so how are you going to do this pile driver? And he's like, when I do it, I go down on my ass. He's like, don't you mean you go down on your knees to do this or whatever? And he's like, no, I go down on my ass. And then it all went wrong. But honestly, I find it a little bit bizarre in that retelling of that this conversation would have ever taken place. Because so many people did. You watch anything from the 80s and 90s, everyone was doing pile drivers as a devastating move, but it wasn't a specific to, Jerry Lawler did it as a finisher, but it was kind of a big move in lots of people's repertoire. But still, I think you can make, like they did with Kevin Owens, you can make a regular pile driver seem like an absolute finisher. And then you've got all the Panama Sunrise and Mexican Destroyers and Canadian Destroyers, which just overkill it. Even though WWE have done a good job of making that a finisher for Penta. And then something like a DDT. Jake Roberts would do a DDT and people didn't kick out. Whereas now a DDT is a nothing move. It's like you can take moves that are pretty safe and you can just make it look like they absolutely butcher you. Go on, Dev, very quickly.
This reminds me of my favorite quote from Rhino saying, if they kick out, it's a spear. If they don't kick out, it's a goal.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Nice.
All right. Okay. On that note, my name is David Pistansky. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at David Pistansky, and follow everything Slam Jam related on the interweb, people. And until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, and ciao for now, you Slam Jam bronies. Boom. And we're off the air.